We're gonna make an epic cheesy lasagna with cottage cheese. Hi, I'm Laura Fuentes, and on my channel, I share all the kitchen skills that moms just know, real life recipes, and the very best pancakes. Subscribe for more. The cottage cheese is the swap for traditional ricotta in lasagna. It's gonna be cheesy, saucy, really good. The first thing we're gonna do is turn the curds of our cottage cheese into a smooth texture. That way, no one knows it's cottage cheese. I'm blending it on medium speed, and sometimes I'm using the spatula to help the sides mix in until it's nice and smooth. You want a creamy texture. I'm going to brown the meat while breaking it up until it's fully browned and cooked through. This will take about 8 to 10 minutes. Meanwhile, we're gonna prep the cheese mixture. By the way, today I'm making a family size or 9x13 lasagna, but this recipe is really easy to divide in half and make a smaller pan. So just follow along for the process. I'll leave everything you need to know below the video. You'll wanna use a medium to large mixing bowl for this. So let's crack our eggs into our bowl. You wanna whisk the eggs really well until the egg whites and yolks have incorporated, just like this. The eggs are gonna give structure to that cottage cheese and cheese mixture, since cottage cheese tends to be a little runny otherwise. Now we're gonna add some Italian seasoning, garlic powder, and some salt. Let's give this a whisk. And to this, I'm going to add that blended cottage cheese and half of the mozzarella and half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Let's mix it together really well with the fork until we have this thick cheesy mixture. I'm using really lean ground beef, so there's not a lot of grease left in my pan. If yours has a lot of grease, make sure to just drain it and then return the meat to the pan. You also wanna make sure that your meat has been chopped into small pieces so it's easy to spread in the lasagna. Now I'm gonna add the marinara sauce to this meat so it can simmer and get some of that flavor. You wanna have your fire on low at this point, and you're simply mixing it and letting it simmer for about 2 minutes or so. Long enough to warm up your tomato sauce and get some of that meat flavor in it. The oven is gonna do the rest. All right, so now this is warmed through. I'm gonna turn off the heat and I'm gonna leave the pan right here, bring my baking dish right here, and use this as an assembly line. We're gonna be using 9 lasagna noodles, which is about half a box for this. There are 2 types of lasagna people. Those that like to just layer their noodles and don't care about the opening on the sides for extra sauce and meat to fall through. Or there are the other team of people who like to push the noodles over and take the other noodle and place it. You would have to break it so the entire pan is filled in. Both ways, it's totally okay to make this lasagna. You will need a couple extra noodles if you like your pan full. Let me know in the comments what lasagna camp you're in. First, we want to add a thin layer of sauce to the bottom of our pan before our noodles. And as you can see, I'm grabbing mostly sauce. It's okay if some of the meat pieces fall in here. I wanna leave the meat for the layers in between. And then I just use the back of the spoon to spread it in the bottom of the dish. This is so the lasagna noodles don't stick and have some moisture to cook. Now I'm going to take my lasagna noodles and layer them. And yes, I am going to move this to the side and fill that spot right there. On top of my lasagna noodles, I'm going to add about half of the cheesy mixture that is in the bowl, and then use a spoon to spread it. I always like the bottom layer to be nice and full. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of the cheese that I did not use. And now we're gonna add more meat sauce over the top. And at this point, I'm adding, give or take, half of what's in the pan. And now we're gonna make another layer of noodles. Since this was my broken layer, I'm gonna start on this side. A little overlap is totally okay. And then I take the rest of the cottage cheese mixture and place it over the noodles. And again, use the back of the spoon or spatula to spread it. Now I am using most of the meat sauce that's left in the pan for this layer, leaving a little bit more for the top. But if you want to add all of it, you should still have about half a jar of sauce left, which you can use for the very top. And then we're gonna add a final layer of noodles over the top. And then the rest of our meat sauce. And we're gonna spread it over the top. If you feel like you need a little bit more, grab that jar. And now we take that bit of cheese that's left and sprinkle it over the top and the rest of our Parmesan cheese as well. We're gonna cover our pan with foil and bake it for about 55 minutes covered. Then I'm gonna remove it from the oven, take the foil off, and put it back in for another 10 minutes to brown that cheesy top. This lasagna smells so good. Let's cut into it and serve it so you can see those layers in between. You're not gonna believe how good lasagna made with cottage cheese tastes. The noodles are cooked perfectly. It's cheesy, meaty. Everything you need to make this recipe is gonna be right below this video. Grab them and watch this video next. See you next time.